Hello there, Aries. Welcome to DragonTaleTarot. My name is Ariel, and welcome to your New Year 2020 overview reading. This is going to be a super fun reading, so I hope you stick around. It's going to be a little longer than my usual. We'll spend probably a few minutes talking about your personal astrology, and then we're going to do a really awesome oracle and tarot reading. I do a similar kind of reading for a lot of my clients around this time of year, so I wanted to give you all sort of that same sort of, general experience for the channel, so I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, I really appreciate you tuning in. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back again to the channel. And if you have not yet done so, I do invite you to reach out there, click that subscribe button, also give it the dragon claw up by clicking the like button, and let me know that you enjoyed this content. As always, I always mention that this is a general reading. It won't apply to every single Aries out there, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. As we always will realize that tarot is a very flexible and fluid medium. So again, nothing's carved in stone. If you don't like what you see in your overview, or one of the months doesn't look great to you, you absolutely have free will. You can change it, you can alter it, you can take that advice and say, you know what, I want to take a different approach. So it's always very, very cool that way. This will mostly resonate with Aries Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising signs. Anybody that has a lot of Aries planets in their chart, you may also really be feeling this. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive in, guys. What a year. I can't believe we're wrapping up 2019. And this is actually, I'm recording this the last day. I wanted to do these sooner, but I had a cold and I just was not speaking clearly. I was very, very congested. So this is the first day, and you probably still hear a little bit of it in my sinuses. So I really wanted to get these done sooner, but let's go ahead and jump in. I'm just kind of jumping. I'm excited. And Mr. Dragon's excited too. You know that. So guys, yeah, 2019 was kind of a bear of a year for a lot of folks. A lot of harsh energies that, are getting softened up. And if you tune into my channel frequently, you'll see I explain a little bit of the astrology at the beginning of every card reading that I do. So over time, even if you're a real beginner at astrology, you'll start to really understand how the motion of the planets and the conjunction of the planets are really affecting us day by day, month by month, etc. So Aries, when I look at you for the year ahead, I single out, for this, to keep it, relatively brief, I look at your ruling planet, which is Mars. Mars is a very masculine, aggressive, direct, spontaneous, forward-driven, very energetic and dynamic planet. So whatever sign it's in, has to do with the way that we're expressing that energy, with our forward drive, with our decision-making, with where we want to go in life. Because of that, Aries tends to really fight for what they want. They don't take second place in the line. They're like, I'm moving right to the front. If you can't get out of the way, I'm going, So they're very strong that way. And so Aries, the really cool thing that's happening, and you might want to, I don't get paid by them to promote this, but I do always get a little pocket planner, astrological calendar, the beginning of every year. I always do it because it's super helpful, of course, to the work that I do. It's very imperative that I have it. But the really nice thing about this particular one is each day it's going to show you the basic aspects, the moon sign, etc. And then in the back it has the ephemeris. It's a very fine print, but it shows you where each planet is moving each degree each day. And so as we've come to the end of 2019, I'll go all the way down, to the end, very where we are now. Mars is in the last few degrees of Scorpio. So this is highlighting your universal 8th house in your astrological chart, And I'm just gonna follow along with me, and we're gonna just talk a little bit about where Mars is going and how it's gonna affect you for 2020. So Mars, it starts out at the last degrees of Scorpio, but then on January 4th, it moves into Sagittarius, which is bold, it's bright, it's optimistic, it's very open energy, it's very adventurous. It learns and it loves to learn. So education is a very strong thing for you right now. So Mars is going to be moving through Sagittarius from January 4th all the way to February 17th. And on February 17th, it goes into the sign of Capricorn, which highlights your universal 10th house. So this is going to be when career and ambitions and higher goals start to enter the scene for you. And that energy will stay with you, let's see, all the way to the end of March. The very last day, March 31st, Mars goes into Aquarius. So that takes you into that forward future thinking, hooked into the mass consciousness and collective, brings out the rebel in you, Aries. Oh my goodness, you will be definitely feeling that. If anybody challenges you or makes you feel oppressed or pushed down, you'll feel yourself rebelling against that. You'll be feeling that all through April, all during the time of your sun sign movement, which is going to be very powerful. Then in the middle of May, on May 14th, Mars goes into Pisces. I would say that this is probably the most gentle, relaxed, sleepy kind of manifestation of Mars. And so that goes into your universal 12th house, also the Pisces house. So I would say that Aries, if there's going to be any downtime for you, this would be it. It would be May 14th, okay, to all the way to the end of June, June 29th. And that's when, boom, Mars goes into your sign, Aries. It goes into Aries at the very end of June. It will be there all through July. And then, let's see, oh wow, it's going to be there a long time. That's great. So yeah, wow. So June, not June, but July and August, Mars is going to be in Aries. That's great for everyone, not just for you, because Mars, that's its natural sign to be in. It's very well expressed there. This will be a good summer of just moving forward, getting things done, punching through old barriers that you didn't think you could get through before. Loving that. Okay, so then we go into the month of September, and Mars is going along in Aries, but then, dun dun dun, cue the dramatic music, it's going to be in retrograde. Yes, we do have a Mars retrograde for 2020. It's going to start on September the 9th. And Mars will be going retrograde at 28 degrees of Aries. So it'll be going all the way back through the sign of Aries. It'll still be retrograde all through October. And then on November 14th, it goes direct. We're going to have a whole lot of Mars and Aries. Now, when Mars is retrograde, this is a real good key. You need to keep this in mind, especially for you guys. So that's a long retrograde, it usually is with Mars. We don't get them that frequently. We don't even get them every single year. So let's bring those dates up again. From September 9th through November 14th, keep in mind that when Mars is retrograde, it behaves more like Venus. And I remember my amazing astrology teacher, Lynn, telling me that in several classes, actually, several sessions, that she would talk about when Mars is retrograde, it behaves more like Venus. It's more polite, it's less aggressive, it's less demanding, it's less forward driven. So I would say that in some ways, if you know that, you can really capitalize on it by saying, I can really use this. And, and maybe go back and smooth over, the rough edges. Or if I said something kind of rude or brash to somebody, I can kind of go back and smooth that over. So it's not all bad, Aries. It's still in your sign. It's just, it's a little bit different kind of modality. It's like we're changing the gear shift. And so then by the end of 2020, Mars goes direct, November 14th. and it carries us to the end of December 2020. So, yeah, we have almost like half of the year with Mars and Aries due to it being in retrograde. So, Aries, in a lot of ways, this is a very strong year for you based on that. I actually like that. This gives you a lot of opportunity to really express yourself fully. Mars will be in your first house, you know, universally for quite a big part of the year. So it's really powerful for you moving forward, for really shining your light and really understanding who you are and who you're meant to be, which is really, truly a big part of the Aries life experience, because your motto is I am. You know, Aries is all about who they are, what their life purpose is, what they're meant to do as just that pure conduit of fire energy, which you are. So, wow. Awesome. I love it. So let's jump into your cards now, Aries. I'm going to do some oracle cards for you, and this is going to be meant to be like an overview of 2020. This is going to be some major themes that you're going to experience through the year. I do this reading for myself. I do this reading for my good clients that I see. Some of them even travel from out of town at this time of the year just to do this reading with me. So I'm so excited to be bringing this to you on the channel, because this is the first time I've done it. I started the channel about 6 months ago, actually, and I've been really blown away by how many awesome folks have joined, and this is just going to be a super fun time. So let's do a little invocation and get started pulling. Dear divine beings of light, dear angels and guides, guardians, ancestors, helpers, and healers, please be with the Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising sign of Aries as we do their 2020 overview reading. Please protect their energy as well as mine and bring through clear, accurate messages for their highest good. Thank you so much. Okay, Aries, look at that. So here is the numerology card. This is going to be your major theme for 2020. Look at that. Individuality, the number 11, the 1 plus the 1, adding up to a 2. 11 is a master number. It's very much a powerful number of creation and bringing things into being. So, wow. That's a big way to start out, and not surprising. Think about that. Think about what Mars's movement is happening, and it's going to be so much about you realizing your true individuality, what makes you you, and because it's an 11, this is manifesting so much, and it's also about relating you know, yourself to another person, because Aries, remember, the opposite, the flip side sign of yourself is Libra. So Libra is all about partnerships. You know, so anytime there's a lot of energy in Aries, which Mars being in Aries for so long, for the second half of 2020, you're going to be feeling a lot of that, you know, balancing act from Libra. So this is very Mars, Venus, you know, relationship dynamics, learning about yourself and learning how it relates to somebody else. All right, so now I'm going to pull a guardian angel card for you. We're going to see what angels are really going to be around you, what your guardian angels are mostly going to be focused on, so that you can really attune yourself to what to ask for, what to focus on, what to invite them to help you with through this year of 2020. Oh, Aries, angel of unity. So I would say that that is a very strong message coming through that individuality card. Like I said, this is about understanding not just yourself, but how it relates to others. And so your guardian angel this year is about unifying, uniting people. Look at everybody joining hands in the circle. So it's like you're not just meant to be all about yourself and only, you know, focused on understanding yourself, but you're understanding as well your role and how you are unifying and bringing people from maybe a lot of diverse backgrounds together. Very, very beautiful. So that's something that when you're focusing in, on your spirit guides, your angels, to ask, how can I be a greater force of unity? How can I unify people that maybe are arguing or not getting along very well? That's a really great card to pull. So let's do one from the Sacred Destiny deck. This is going to be kind of a key word. What is it that your Sacred Destiny is leading you to for 2020, Aries? Ooh, Aries, look at that power card coming through. With the lightning and the mountains. So you are a powerful force this year. Very electric, very, very strong. Like I said, during this earlier part of the year, while Mars is going through Aquarius, ooh, like that's a strong, strong time for you. My goodness. Okay, so then we're going to be moving through, I'm going to bring up one card from the Hidden Worlds Oracle, and this is going to be about kind of that deep place within your soul that you may not even know that this is what you're really meant to inhabit, or where, your soul is leading you. What kind of place, what kind of space are you meant to be, occupying in your heart, your spirit, your mind, and even physically, where it's leading you to this year. Oh, Aries. The Tree of Illumination. Look how beautiful that is. The number 7, truth, revelations, and understanding. So this is so much about the truth being revealed deep in your heart. This is where you're really meant to be. I also feel with that tree coming through, that's really a strong, signal from Spirit to get in touch with nature, to get outside, to be with the actual trees. But there's a lot of revelations that are coming this year, Aries. A lot of things being illuminated for you. A lot of things that have been kind of cloudy or fuzzy, or haven't been very clear, that are going to get revealed finally. A lot of things are going to be made very, very crystal clear for you. All right, so now I'm going to pull from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and we're going to do connect with the spirits of nature, to see which ones are strongest around you. I'm actually going to do 4 of these, because I want to do one for each season. We're going to do, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And this will kind of give you an idea of what the animal spirits are doing with you, connecting with you, where they want to guide you throughout the year. The wind is really blowing out there. I can hear it. Ooh, okay, we're going to start with that one. Okay, so we have, I love it. Look at this. Another master number came up too for you, Aries. All right, so we start with the Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. So Aries, like I said, this is a year of deep transformation and healing, and kind of that journey through the dark that ends up very bright. And look at this. Moving into spring, we have the Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion. So like that tree of illumination, this is really a year where a lot of things that have been illusory start to clear, start to open up. I love this for the summer. Wombat Spirit, be at home, be grounded, be centered. And it's funny because to me, The summer is when Mars goes into your sign, into Aries, and that is like Mars coming home, and it says be at home. So it's very much like you're in that homing energy. You're grounding and you're integrating into your own unique spirit. I love that. And then we go into the autumn, and the hummingbird comes out with the be here now. And I think, you know, the hummingbird is also about love. It's about joy. It's about harmony and beauty. So really, really beautiful animal spirits that are coming up. You've got the bat, the dragonfly, the wombat, and the hummingbird. All right, so now we're just going to keep going. And this deck, this is a threefold deck. This is, you know, an astrology deck. And so I'm going to pull one card from each pile of these. There's going to be 3 of them. The first one I'm going to ask Spirit for you, Aries, what is going to be the zodiac sign that is most important for you to focus on? May not even be your sun sign or necessarily even a sign that you always think about, but it might be something that it could be a part of your chart that's important. People that you will meet that, you know, are the sign or embody the sign, or that you're meant to step up into more of the feeling of the energy of this particular sign. So let's see which one comes up for you. Oh, look at that, Aries. Libra came up, and we were just talking about how that is your polarity. And with that individuality card, the 1111, Aries, this is going to be definitely a year of balance, of harmony, of, you know, getting things in better equilibrium. Libra is all about being diplomatic, gracious. It seeks harmony and balance. So, interestingly enough, like I said, when Mars is retrograde, which it will be a good chunk of this year, it behaves like Venus. Guess what's ruled by Venus? Libra. So, absolutely, Aries, relationships are going to be a big deal for you. They just will. They will be a big deal for you this year. You know, whether you meet a new partner, a new love interest, whether you deepen or take a relationship to the next level, or you're healing a relationship you're currently in, relationships are going to be a big part of 2020 for you. And look at that. Okay, so out of the planet cards, the planet that's going to be most highlighted for you, Aries, is the moon. So this is a beautiful, beautiful, unconscious feminine energy. It's very gentle, very nurturing. It's time to take good care of yourself. That wombat spirit comes to mind. Be at home. You know, the moon is about homing and being, you know, near the home. And taking care of your inner spirit, your sensitive inner emotions and your feelings. So what I would say to Aries is pay attention to the full moons, pay attention to the moon cycles this year, because they will be very significant for you. So then we're going to pull one more card out of these, and this is going to be for the house. So the houses, you know, there's 12 houses in each astrology chart. So we'll see which house. It kind of rules like an area of your life. So which area, which, you know, place in life is going to have the most emphasis this year for my Aries. And look at that. The first house, Aries, and that is your house. This is all about you and all about the balance between yourself and other people very, very strongly. So amazing. Love it. This is great. This makes so much sense right now for you. All right. So now we're going to get into the tarot. Sorry, Mr. Dragon nearly knocked him over. There we go. I'm going to put you over there. And then we're going to start this. This is going to be really fun. I love doing this spread. It's one of my favorite things to do at the beginning of the year. So for each month of the year, I'm going to pull one tarot card. So all the way from January all the way through December, we're going to do 12 months, and it's going to be, you know, kind of what the theme or the energy of that month will be for you. And it's really fun to like make notes of these, write them down. I do this every year just for myself. And it's amazing actually to kind of refer back to it through the year to say, okay, which month had this card, which month had that card, you know, and see how it plays out. And so we'll do this on the general level for all Aries, but of course if you do a personal reading, I do, you know, I can do this a lot more in depth. So let's go ahead and see what comes up here. Aries, I'm really feeling, honestly, so much of that like moon lunar energy. There's something very soft and gentle that I'm just, it's kind of like you can't deny it. It's a thing. It's a real thing. I can feel that. All right, guys, so start of your year, here it is, month of January. There is the Page of Coins. So to me, a lot of Aries are starting this year out with a feeling of it's time to start something fresh, time to start something new. A lot of Aries will be going into 2020 with some very very basic, pure, like grounded kind of resolutions or intentions. It's like time to put some new seeds in the earth, time to start a new project. You know, that's very, very nice, earthy, grounded energy. It's associated with the Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo as well. So it's all about, you know, starting some kind of new business, some kind of new project. And then we're going into February, so we're bringing up the Knight of Swords. So that Knight of Swords is a very fast-moving energy. It actually, you know, it works really quite well with the energy of February because that is Aquarius time and it is an air sign element. So it's, you know, rapid movement, especially of communication. You could be getting a lot of messages, a lot of thoughts, a lot of new ideas. The main thing to watch with the Knight of Swords coming up around that time is that you don't want it to fall into things like, you know, extra anxiety, extra stress, things like that. Going into March, look at that. We've got the Nine of Cups. So Aries, March is a beautiful month. We're moving into a feeling of wish fulfillment, something that you've worked for already starting to make sense. This can also be emotional wish fulfillment because this is that cup suit. So it's all about the emotions, the feelings, the perceptions that you have. Going into April, look at that, 10 of coins. So 10 of Pentacles, Aries, that's a very, very strong energy. That is your own energy. So to me, this is a completion. This is that really ultimate harmony, and it's something that you've worked very hard for. So then going into May, the month of May, we've got that 8 of coins. So Aries, this is really telling me do not let up, do not stop the forward movement. You're really meant to keep at this one day at a time. A lot of coins energy coming up through these months, actually. So then going into June, we have that 5 of coins, 5 of pentacles. So to me, you know, this always brings up that feeling of maybe being left out in the cold, not feeling quite included. There could even be like a group project or something where you feel like I wanted to be included in that and then you weren't. So you really have to go around the other way and realize, hey, maybe I'm really not. Maybe I'm kind of excluding myself, you know. Or you start something completely fresh yet again. And then look what we've got coming up into, let's see, so May, June, and July. That's the time of Cancer. That's when Mars is going into your sign. And that we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is a beautiful blessing to me. Anytime this comes out in a yearly overview, we're always going to have, you know, a year that has some kind of element of divine blessing. But it really starts to become obvious in the month of July for you. You know, something very big, something very blessed. And then going into August, also a very positive month of Aries, Mars. We have the Three of Coins. So another coins card here, Aries. We've got 4 already. So to me, this is just saying you are working at things one step at a time. You've got your groove back on. If you felt, excluded from something in the previous months, it's like that's gone and you're starting to really integrate into the whole. So then going into the third part of the year, the third section of the year, so let's see, going into September, we go from another 3. We got the Three of Cups, the Three of Coins that was in August, and then in September we have the Three of Cups. So there is some celebration here, Aries. Getting into September, getting into the autumn, there is this sort of feeling of like, I did it, or someone did something very momentous and you're getting together with people. There's a reason, there's something to celebrate. In the month of October, and I'd almost say that the month of October may indeed be one of the most challenging months of the year as this sits. But the Nine of Wands is there. So there's something that's going on in that month that makes you feel like you've been on your guard, that you've been on the defensive, that you've been fighting a really, really hard battle. And you're really ready to put that down. It's like there's that feeling of just, I don't want to fight anymore. Yeah, because Aries, this is the time of year when you're really starting to embrace a big change, a big shift. You don't want to fight against people. You want to unify them. That's what this year is about. And so, that could be one of the most challenging months. I'm just going to put that out there. It could be October. That's also the time of Libra. So if there's been any sort of relationship, any sort of situation, work, environment, whatever it is, that has really made you feel on the defensive, that's when it could really come to a head. And you just go, you know what? I don't want to fight anymore. I want to unify. I want to harmonize. And if we can't, we need to walk away. So that's a very strong energy coming through. So then November, we've got the Six of Cups, which is a very beautiful, sentimental, sweet, positive memories. Sometimes this comes from childhood. Sometimes it comes from, past relationship or something you've been in before that, elicits fond memories or good nostalgia. So that's coming up around November. Getting back into kind of holiday time that we just went through right now. So this could be a time of reconnection for you. And then at the end of 2020, the Hand of the Divine comes in, Aries. There's the Tower card. This is dismantling any old structures, anything that hasn't worked for you. It's being taken down. It's being cleared to make way for the new. So by the end of 2020, anything that's accumulated, anything that you want to let go of in that year, you will be dismantling that yet again. So to me, this is a very powerful year of understanding yourself, understanding others, really building quite a bit. You're doing a lot of work. There is so much earth energy here, especially through kind of getting from April all the way, into the summer. So this is a very strong year of forward movement. You've got that beautiful Ace of Cups. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, five months out of this year are Pentacle energy. So lots of building, lots of inner growth. And I'm going to pull one last card. We're going to do an affirmation for you, Aries. I love these cards. This is a fun deck called the Affirmators, and it has a rabbit on the back riding a unicorn. So that gives you an idea of the kind of mood of these cards, but I really love them. So let's pull one of these for you as a affirmation for this new year of 2020. Okay, Aries. So let's take that one. Look at this positive thinking. So I'm going to read this for you because the print's kind of fine. In the garden of my mind, I water the good thoughts and weed out the bad ones. I throw in forgiveness and empathy seeds by the handful if I want, and I take a lawnmower to that jealousy and resentment patch. I'm a pretty badass mind gardener. That is so cool, Aries, and you know that you're awesome. You know that you can do that. This is a lot about, working through anything that has kind of kept you down in the past, changing your thoughts, changing your mind, and really, yeah, improving the mind, staying in those positive thoughts. And you're really going to hit that in February. That's when your mind, it's going to be pretty quick into the beginning of this year. Because of that Knight of Swords in the month of February. So definitely watch for that. That's when those thoughts are really going to rise up. And you're going to have a lot of opportunities to work through any anxieties or old mental patterns that you're outgrowing. All right, Aries, well, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again very soon. Take care.